Alright, quick update on Step app, ticker symbol FITFI. So in this video, we're going to be starting off with some of the news. I'm going to be talking about some messages that I've had from the community about the recent staking event, and then I'm also going to be diving into the charts, and we're going to be seeing, how our prediction is holding up from yesterday. I still think we're coming down to these lower price targets, and it does seem like we've started to move down. So let's talk about that in the end of the video. Let's jump right into the news over on Twitter. Now, I've got my phone in front of me. I'm going to be looking at a few of the messages that I've got, but the general consensus of what I see here is basically they had an event yesterday. You had to stake your FITFI, and if you were staking your FITFI, you had the opportunity to win a loot box. Now, a lot of people are complaining in the comment section saying that they didn't get a loot box, and then that's a reason to hate on FITFI. I kind of think that's a little bit stupid if that's the only reason what people are arguing. There's a few other things to this that I'm going to jump into, but there's a lot of people. I'll try and find one. This person says this many stakers didn't even get a loot box, but I don't think that's true. I did look at the rewards, and I think over 10% of people did win, but a ton of people are basically saying, I staked FITFI, why did I not win? And that's kind of like, walking into, like a local shop, buying a lottery ticket, and then going back and complaining that you didn't win anything, which doesn't really make any sense to me whatsoever. But there is one point which does have some validity to it on why people are angry about this loot box event. Basically, people were staking to get these loot boxes, and a bunch of people messaged me saying, I'm trying to unstake and I have to pay a 16% fee, and I believe the only way to circumvent it was to, I believe it was a 10 to 14 day period. I'm trying to find, so it was for 14 days, yeah, so you could circumvent that by getting a cheaper fee by doing it for 14 days. So that's pretty brutal in my opinion, that they would want like a 14-day cooldown, otherwise you pay a 16% fee. I think a lot of people kind of just ran into this staking hoping to get something, and then they obviously didn't get anything. They wanted to unstake, they see the price going down, lots of people are kind of flooding, complaining, etc, and it's kind of all turning out to be like a shitstorm over on Twitter and in the Discord. But that being said, let's jump into what's going on with the technicals. Now, when I do the technicals, I'm not going to bring, my opinions or, the opinions of what's been going on here. I'm purely looking at this from a technical perspective. And what we were talking about in the last video is the fact that we were slowly starting to see little wicks back to the upside. We've really been dropping off in volume for quite some period of time now. So it would be good if we could get some more volume coming in, because if you've been watching my my FITFI videos, we did get into this project early. We were talking about it over on my Discord, and we basically sold when the EMA ribbons flipped bearish at 54 cents, and I've still been sticking on the sidelines. We're getting a massive discount. Literally every day I make a video on FITFI, the price is moving lower. I believe yesterday it was like a 60% discount that we could have been getting. Now we're almost getting a 70% discount from where I initially sold. So I do like this. I also have been saying for all of these move to earns, doesn't matter if you're looking at green metaverse, doesn't matter if it's green Satoshi, DFIT, DOS, FITFI, etc, they all kind of run on the same short-term Ponzi-nomics that only really work in a bear market. And I might make a video about how you actually earn when you're moving to earn in these cryptos. It is basically a Ponzi scheme. You can't earn money unless someone else comes in and buys up the token supply, or someone else comes in and buys in an NFT of a shoe. So that is, a textbook pyramid scheme. Not saying that people shouldn't buy, because you'd be surprised, there's a lot of Ponzi schemes in crypto. I always say this: don't love it, don't hate it, don't trade it. I've been very adamant that I don't think any of these move to earns have any good long-term fundamentals. I believe they'll only work in a bull market, and as we are coming into this bear market phase, you're really seeing the hype is clearly already dying out for a lot of these. And I remember, when I first started covering green metaverse token, it was like my videos got thousands and thousands of views, and now all the hype has died out on green metaverse token, and then I started making videos on FITFI. And I think if you click on my most popular videos, I believe I got 4,000 views. If not, it was 3,000 views. A lot more views than I normally get on my channel. And there was so much hype for this new project. And now all the hype is kind of disintegrating, which is what I've been hammering in for a very long period of time. These purely run on hype. Unless they've got hype driving them, then they are going to continue to capitulate, especially if the market cap is going down. The rewards are going to get diminished. They're going to have to do something with the rewards. They obviously can't keep on rewarding people. I mean, they can give them the tokens with the market cap going down, but people, you know, it's not going to look good. So once again, looking at the technicals, we just keep on capitulating below the 4-hourly EMA ribbons. And this was why yesterday I said, in my opinion, you know, we've already come down from this low to this high. We came down, bounced on the 1.618 Fibonacci at 16 cent. We came right back up to the rejection zone. Not only did we get rejected from the lows of these wicks, but we also came in, you know, we kind of got rejected from the 786 here. So that's a pretty textbook trend reversal at this point in time. And we also came into the EMA ribbons and capitulated. Since then, you're kind of seeing a lot of volume coming in. I think with what's going on over on Twitter, the volume is exponentially increasing at this moment in time, at least compared to what we've seen in the past week or so, since we did have a little bit of a dry spurt. But volume is coming back, FUD is coming back, bears are coming back. I do think everything points for lower price targets. Now, do I think that these move to earns will make it through the bear market? No, I don't. Do I think at least maybe one or two of them may make it through the bear market and then end up being like a longer term project? I 100% do. I either have my money on FITFI or Green Metaverse token. It's really a fight between those two, whether which one is going to make it out of the bear market. I don't think they're all going to make it out of the bear market. I'd be surprised if two make it out of the bear market. I really only think one of these is making it out. And at this moment in time, I've been very adamant, I've been saying this for the past couple of weeks now, but I think Bitcoin is coming down to 22,000. What does that mean for FITFI? Well, in the last video, we looked at the valuation for FITFI against Bitcoin, and you know, it's clearly very bearish. If we go over to, if we just simply type in FITFI BTC, and we go over to CoinGecko, doesn't have like a perfect chart, but we can go back to the last 90 days and you can see it's not bullish against Bitcoin. This is the price of FITFI in terms of Bitcoin, and you know, in the past 14 days we're down almost 50% against Bitcoin. In the past 7 days we're down 33%. For some reason it is, okay, this chart has not been going on for too long, so this chart only goes back to the 26th of April last month, so we won't unfortunately be able to see how it's been performing in the last you know, 30 days, 90 days, etc, but it's very evident. FITFI is clearly capitulating against the US dollar pair, and it's also capitulating against the BTC pair. So you know, take the news that I said over on Twitter with a grain of salt. I really don't think there's too much to what's going on Twitter. Obviously the 16% fees is a little bit of a crack over the head, but nonetheless the technicals say it all. I didn't even need to talk about the news. I've been predicting that we're going to move lower since all the way up here at 53 cent. If you go back to my videos on the 8th to the 9th of May, you'll see this is when I sold my FITFI at 53 cent. Since then we've been massively capitulating, and I still think we have lower to go down. So how's our prediction holding up since the last video? I said I think we're going to move down about 29% in the next coming days to weeks. And we've already moved down a pretty decent amount. We're only about 23% of the way. We were calling also for this. This is kind of where I think FITFI is going in terms of the bear market lows. I at least think we're coming back down to test 7 to 8 cent. And we were talking about this being, you know, 56% drop. Since yesterday, we're down 8%. So I think we have more to come down. You know, wrapping up this video, you can see this is your last line in the sand before we do have this further 23% capitulation. If we do have a 4-hourly candle body close below 16 cent, it's going to be a wrap. We're coming right down to the 2.618. That would mean we're coming down to 12.5 cent. If we do capitulate below 12.5, you know, we could expect to bounce maybe around about 8 or 9 if we drop through it like a rock. But my macro position has not changed whatsoever. I'm not holding altcoins. I'm not holding move to earns especially. And I do think we are coming all the way down to 7.7% approximately before we can even think about having any type of a bottom pattern. So that's, you know, like I said, from where we are now, this is another 52% drop. I'm expecting that if you're holding FITFI at this moment in time, the US dollar valuation is going to get slashed in half by 50%. And we'll see what goes on with the BTC pair. I think it's a lot safer holding Bitcoin at this moment in time. That's just my trading plan. I wish you the best no matter what you're going to be doing. As always, none of this is financial advice. We're already capitulating. I think it's pretty black and white at this moment in time. I also did just make a stock market video. Let's wrap up this video here. But the stock market is about to open bearish. This is going to bleed over into Bitcoin. This is going to bleed over into the altcoins, and obviously FITFI is an altcoin. It's not going to be a market outlier. I think Bitcoin is going to start to bleed within the next day or so on the stock market opening, and then we're going to capitulate. Wrapping up this video, might as well shield my Twitter as we are over here. If you do want to follow me over on Twitter, it is here at 618_cowboy. I really just share memes, NFTs, chart setups, etc. So that's the video. That's my Twitter. Hope to see you over there as always. Cowboy out, not financial advice. Peace.